Oh, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Crossing China's Red Line. Sorry, should I say China's Red Line? It is no longer called Crossing China's Red Line. Today, it is another on the sofa live stream. We're in this location now, I think, full time. So that's cool. I'd like to just welcome everybody. I can already see there are a few of you in the chat already. That is good to see. Welcome. And yeah, get ready for today's live stream. It's going to be another one of those laid back, chilled out, sit on the sofa and have a chat kind of live stream. We will be obviously talking about some serious stuff, but yeah, I think it's just better to do it in a more laid back kind of way rather than being just too serious all the time. You know, you can't be too serious when you're talking about the CCP anyway, right? So, anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. And I just need to load my screen up on here. Just give me 1 second. It won't take long. Where is it? Yeah. Okay, I've got it. All right. Let's put it on the screen and let's get going. Now, hold on, let me just take that off for a second. So, today we're going to be talking about what you read in the video's title. Do 1.4 billion Chinese people really support the CCP? It's the question for today's stream. And I'm pretty sure you guys probably already know the answer to that. But yeah, before we get into that, just wanted to show some footage from the summertime at an actual protest by some Hong Kongers. Just wanted to show you like some of the shit that you have to put up with when you're out on the street protesting or even just filming a video. There's always going to be a member of the public that just is an absolute nuisance, right? And this is a great example of that. This was sent to me by one of my Hong Kong friends in the summertime, and I actually forgot that I had the footage. I was gonna post it in a video at some point, but yeah, completely forgot that this footage was around. So I just wanted to show you guys now. So here we go.
You can't do what you want to do, mate. I don't give a fuck, right? I've done nothing wrong. You've told me to shut my mouth. Your friend has insulted me, right? Video record this. I've talked to this man in a good way. He's assaulted me. He's racially abused me. He's told me to shut up. I want to talk to man. If you want to walk around, come there. We'll get another phone call. Come on, big boy. Come on, me and you. Come on, me and you. Let's go this way. Come on, big man.
All right, let's take that back. All right, so I didn't know what happened. I don't know what happened before it started filming, but this guy, man, this guy, like, what an absolute douche.
Your friend is.
All right, first of all, yeah, like he's got like only one button done up on his shirt. I mean, that's a dead giveaway that this guy's an absolute gimp. I mean, either just take it off or, you know, button the shirt up, dude. Come on.
Insulted me, right?
So he's accusing one of the Hong Kongers of assaulting him.
Video record this. I've talked to this man in a good way.
It doesn't look like you're talking to anybody in a good way with your hand in that woman's face as well. I mean, maybe this guy's had one too many beers. I don't know. Possibly drunk. I mean, look at his shirt. And is he got like something tied around his waist as well?
He's assaulted me. He's racially abused me. He's told me
Racially abused? What?
to shut up.
Yeah, well, honestly, mate, like I think you need somebody to tell you to shut up.
I want to talk to man. If you want to walk around, come there. We'll get another phone call.
So he's telling the guy to come round the corner so he can have a fight with him. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, why not just do it there and then? You might as well, right? You know, that is like the coward's way of like saying, I don't want to fight.
Come on, big boy. Come on.
Come on, big boy. I'm pretty sure like these Hong Kong dudes would kick your ass, dude. Seriously.
Come on, me and you. Come on, me and you. Let's go this way. Come on, big man.
Come on, big man. Me and you, let's go this way. You see, I just wanted to show you guys this clip just to give you an example of, like the sort of crap that you have to put up with. Not only do I get like death threats and that kind of thing, but you do get like people like this on the street, you just recording a video, perfectly legal, there's no expectation of privacy in a public place. You can film a video or you can go out and protest, pretty much do whatever you want on the street within the law, right? But this guy obviously has taken offense to something, and maybe one of the Hong Kongers just told him to shut up because he was drunk and interfering with the protest. You always get people like this, man. Like I've got several clips where maybe I'll show you them at some point. I showed you one last week of the guy threatening to beat the crap out of me. So maybe I'll show you a few more clips where members of the public, they didn't quite like me filming, or I did something that might have offended them and they just, instead of usually like I try to be as polite as I can. Like if somebody if somebody's done something wrong, I'll probably just politely say, "Hey, do you mind not doing that?" But some people are just really sort of passive aggressive, really snarky with their comments, right? And just plain rude in some instances. And yeah, I do have a clip like that that I'll probably show at some point when I was at this Chinese New Year celebration. Sorry, Lunar New Year. I call it Chinese New Year there because that is what they were calling it all freaking day, right? So yeah, anyway, like there was this lady that I stood in front of when they had that performance going on the big stage. I stood in front of her and there was loads of space around us, right? She could have moved to the left, moved to the right. Maybe it was rude of me to stand in front of her, but yeah, she went off on me anyway. I was going to include it in the original video, but I decided that it didn't really fit that scene. Okay, what I'll do is next time I'll show you guys that clip instead of talking about it. But yeah, people they just jump to conclusions and they're very rude and they probably don't think before they speak. And in many cases, this happens when you're on the streets with a camera. It's very unfortunate. And this drunk guy here is just an idiot. And this is the sort of thing that you have to put up with when you're filming videos. But that's just, like everything, there's pros and cons to every single job in your life. And unfortunately, this is just one of the things that happens. Anyway, let's move along, shall we? We're going to do a she's moment.
也没能留住你，山谷的风，它陪着我哭泣。
Okay, so this is She's Moments, and this one is funny because it fits in with what I want to talk about today. In case you didn't know, She's Moments is a Twitter or X account set up to publish quotes of Xi Jinping, the glorious leader of China. Okay, there are this X account has hundreds and thousands of followers for some reason. I have no idea. I think it's all just bot accounts. It's all fake. How can that many people follow a Xi Jinping quotes Twitter account? It's totally ridiculous. But like every now and again, they post a quote. They post all of propaganda for the CCP, obviously, but they post a lot of quotes as well. And it says this time Xi Jinping's amazing quote. If the root cause of a problem is addressed, there will be immediate change for the better. If only trivial matters are addressed, the problem will stay forever. I mean, talk about talking about yourself there, right? I think he is the root cause of the problem. The CCP is the root cause of the problem. The Chinese people have tried to address this in the past, and the CCP just completely trampled on them. We all remember Tiananmen Square. We all remember the zero COVID thing. We won't forget it, but the CCP would like everybody to forget about this. And Xi Jinping is definitely the root cause of the problem, and he needs to be addressed. We need to have immediate change for the better. And we need no longer need to focus on the trivial matters, because if we do, the problem of the CCP will stay forever. So thank you so much, Xi Jinping, for this really great quote about yourself and about your government. You freaking moron. Oh my god, this guy is just moronic. So we're gonna look at something. Okay, let me move along. So apparently Xi Jinping and his government, the Chinese Communist Party, they seem to believe that 1.4 billion Chinese people support them. Absolutely 100% of the population supports the CCP. Now, I touched on this in a presentation, a speech that I did a couple of days ago outside China's embassy. I put a video about it on my Team Taiwan UK channel. You can go and check it out if you want. But I'm going to touch on this today. I'm going to just go into a little bit more detail on what I spoke about on that day. So if you haven't seen that video, I suggest when this stream is finished, go and watch it. But I'm guessing if you guys follow me, then you probably have already seen it, right? So, anyway, they think that 1.4 billion Chinese people support them, right? And I think that's totally ridiculous. And in that speech, I said, well, why don't they allow the people to vote? If they seriously think that 100%, all 1.4 billion people support them, then why are they afraid to let the people vote? Why do they censor social media? Why do they control the narrative, the propaganda, all of the media? It's all state run media. Why don't they allow independent media to have a go? If everybody supports them, right? What's the fucking problem? Excuse my French. Why do they viciously shut down any form of dissent, any protests? Why do they shut it all down if the people completely support them? It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And we've seen how they vote in China, right? Let me just show you an example. I just want to. Oh my God, what is going on? Okay, yeah.
我在北京
What's up, Beijing? Forget about this one. We'll come back to that. Okay, so this is how they vote for Xi Jinping in China. It's basically in their great hall of the people, whatever the hell it's called, and all of the CCP members have a vote to vote for the leader. And as you can see, Xi Jinping right here got 2,970 votes. I mean, that number is pathetically small when voting for a leader of a country of 1.4 billion people. That is insane. But what's even more insane is that none of them voted against him. Not one of them dislikes Xi Jinping. I find that very hard to believe coming from here in the UK. When you see how many people in Keir Starmer's own party don't like him, or not to mention the opposition parties and all of the other people that dislike Keir Starmer. I don't think he would get that many votes. It just is ridiculous when you come from a democratic country, right? It's insane. It is insane to think. I mean, let's face it, right? China is just an authoritarian regime. They, like I said in my speech, I said they're exactly the same as North Korea, except they've got money. They've actually got money. They silence anybody that they and detain anybody for any form of what they deem subversion. They've got vague laws that could have people just locked up for just slightly criticizing the regime. I mean, if you look at Hong Kong, you have that national security law where they've just vilified protesters just so they can clamp down on the protests, make the protesters into the bad guys, and that means that you can stop all protest, which is what they did in Hong Kong. And if they had their chance, they'd do the same to Taiwan as well. The CCP just hates freedom, and they just detain anybody for speaking the truth, and they just won't even give their own people freedom of speech. It's ridiculous. So I just wanted now to get to this. We need to take this back a second.
Big man.
Oops. Oh, we're gonna play the China techno music.
山谷的风，陪着我哭泣。
Sorry about this. Oh my god.
我在北京
What's up, Beijing? Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about next. So, every time that I see a CCP shill or a propagandist talk about how the people in China 100% support the government, they always turn to this Harvard survey, this ridiculous Harvard survey. And this is from the China Daily, talking about how this Harvard survey finds Chinese satisfaction with their government, how their satisfaction with their government has increased. So just to summarize this article, it's a long-term survey, apparently a long-term survey by Harvard University's Ash Center, and the survey went from 2003 all the way up to 2016. It's based on interviews with over 31,000 Chinese citizens, and they found that public satisfaction with the Chinese government increased significantly at all levels. So apparently, approval of the central government rose from 86% to 93%, and with satisfaction with local governments also improved, with township approval rising from 44% to 70%. Respondents increasingly viewed local officials as effective, knowledgeable, and concerned about ordinary people. Sorry, I'm really trying to stop myself from laughing here. Improvements in public services, anti corruption efforts, and economic well being were key factors behind rising satisfaction. Support for anti corruption measures grew sharply, with approval increasing from 35.5% in 2011 to 71.5% in 2016. Okay. So this is just stupid. The fact that, well, it's interesting. At least they interviewed more people. What was it, 31,000 than the 2,900 that voted for Xi Jinping. So at least I guess they've got that on their side, right? But to interview such a small proportion of the population and claim that it represents the entire 1.4 billion people in China, it's just ridiculous. It's just absurd. And what I find even more absurd about this is didn't factor in, they didn't think about the obvious, like, elephant in the room, the authoritarian grip that the CCP has over the Chinese people. Do you think that perhaps that could have influenced their opinion on this survey? I just want to share an analogy with you guys. Imagine we're in a room, right? And I have a gun. And I take that gun and I point it at your head and I say, "Hey guys, I'm the most handsome guy in this room, right?" What are people going to say? I've got a loaded gun. I'm pointing it at their head. Of course, they're going to agree with me. And that's exactly the same as what the CCP does to the Chinese people. And do you think that might have had an influence on how the people answered this survey? What do you think they're going to say? Of course, they're going to say the government has improved. The government is good. I'm happy with my government. Because if they don't, what's going to happen? They're going to get a knock at their door. They're going to be invited to the police station, and you're never going to see them again. It's exactly the same as me holding that gun to your head and saying, you'd better agree with me because if you don't, I will shoot you with that gun. You will get a hole in your head, you know? And that is how the people in China live. They live like that. They're afraid of the government, so they never criticize it because if they do, if they say one little thing, like maybe they might compare the great glorious leader to a cartoon character like Winnie the Pooh. If they do that, it's game over, man. They're going to end up in some gulag, or maybe they'll just end up disappeared forever. You know, they might not even come out. So, do you think the people are going to criticize the government in a Harvard survey from a foreign university in a foreign country? Of course not. It's ridiculous. Oh man. So 1.4 billion Chinese people support the CCP. No, they don't. I'm sorry, but they don't. And we're gonna prove that because I've got some footage of some of the people at the protest that I went to a couple of days ago. You've seen the video probably. But yeah, I'm gonna show you that not all people from China support the government. Not like this, anyway. Look at that. Come on, man.
That is why you fail.
Okay. So, guys, now this is like not behind the scenes footage, but this is a lot of footage that I did not include in my recent video because if I just played all of these people's speeches, the video probably would have been about 30 odd minutes. So I've just got some snippets here. We'll go through it, we'll have a look, and we'll see that not every single Chinese person supports the CCP. And yeah, it would be ridiculous to think they do anyway. We all know that not every person in China or from China supports the CCP. Because if that was the case, why would so many of them be fleeing to the US, to Europe, to the UK, and to any other country that will take them? And here are a bunch of dissidents from China at this protest that I went to outside China's embassy in London. So let's have a little listen, let's watch it and enjoy it, and then we'll just have a little chat afterwards.
Reason we say this embassy is to represent the evil. It is because the communist regime killed millions of innocent Chinese, and it's aimed to kill more people who are innocent in the world. We cannot stand it. Down with the CCP! Down with CCP! CCP, get out of the UK! CCP, get out of the UK! This Chinese Communist Party regime created many massacres. Xinjiang massacre, Hong Kong massacre, Tiananmen massacre, and everywhere, wherever the CCP is, wherever the crimes they brought to you, wherever you are. This representative of the CCP regime, this embassy represents the evil. Down with the CCP! Down with CCP! Even today, millions of Uyghurs still locked in Xinjiang just because they are minorities. They wanted to have their own beliefs. Uyghurs believe in Muslim, but Buddhism is not able to escape that either. Look at in the mainland, many monks, many temples. The CCP sent the representative there to lead so-called leading those people. And that CCP regime is representing the fake, the evil, not telling the truth, and don't want the people to know the truth. And this is why that regime against the people and we against the CCP, right?
Yes.
Yes. Do we against the CCP?
Yes. Hell yeah.
As you know, the Iranian regime is one of the allies or friends of the so-called CCP regime. So CCP regime supports Islamic country as Iran. But I have a question to this country. What are they doing to their Muslim people, Uyghur people in China?
Yeah.
Why do they suppress Uyghur people? If they are friend to Islamic countries, why do they suppress religion in their own country?
Yeah.
I have many friends, Uyghur people. They have been suppressed for so many years. They have been tortured, they have been killed, and they have suffered a lot. And this is not only about Muslim people, it is what they are doing to Tibet people. They are doing to people of Mongolian race. So I would like to give a message. I have a teaching from Master Ryoho Okawa, and I would like to give his wish. He would like Chinese people to live with democracy, with freedom, and with faith. And I would like a future of Iran and China as friends, not as two totalitarian regimes allied together. Thank you so much.
Now, recent events have been very interesting, my friend. Now that there is a war between the United States and Iran, everybody expected the CCP to do something about it. Funnily enough, they don't seem to be doing much. Which is a good thing, honestly. It means the CCP perhaps is not feeling comfortable enough to oppose the USA directly. This is good news in particular to our Taiwanese friends who have been threatened day and night by the terrorist CCP, who have been threatened to have their freedom and their sovereignty taken away from them via invasion. It's very likely the CCP will invade Taiwan if they feel like they will get away with it. And my friends, you all know I am a representative of the Ukrainian community here in London. Ukrainians know very well what it means to be threatened throughout years by a neighbor. For that neighbor to claim you do not exist, to claim your culture doesn't exist, to claim your sovereignty doesn't exist, and then in the end, to manifest those claims and those threats into real violence. This is what Russia has done to Ukraine. And now, Russia, after getting itself in a war, it's been very difficult for them to do well in. They're becoming a colony of the CCP. They're getting bought up by the Chinese Communist Party. And this is the number one message I have to send to you, my friends, and to everyone in the world. What the Americans say about limiting the CCP, about how they do not want the CCP to spread, it should apply to Russia above all. Because Russia is the number one country that aids the CCP in all of their actions. Via buying up Russian oil, Russian gas, other prime materials from Russia, annexing Russian land, which is the funniest part for me personally. The Russians fight Ukraine for a few square meters, as square kilometers are being taken from them by the CCP in the east. Now this is just very dark humor for me personally, but it is true. And it is something people should speak about all over the world. Because once again, my friends, the CCP may not be as directly violent against other countries as Russia, but the CCP definitely has plans to expand. They're not going to keep it to themselves. They're going to try to use the same tactics of pot farms that the Russians have used for a very long time to brainwash people abroad and to convince them that somehow CCP is the good guy. It's not. It's never the good guy. It never will be the good guy. As bad as some of the actions of the current American administration may be, and I don't agree with them on anything, on everything. Some things I agree with, some things I agree less about. But the CCP, my friends, is no one's friend, not even the friend of their own people. And that is the message I wanted to send to you today. Stop the CCP!
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 World, wake up!
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 All together, we will win!
All together, we will win!
All together, we will win!
Yes, we are the people here from Uyghur people group. I'm Hui, and this gentleman probably is Han. We are all here because we stand up against that Chinese Communist Party regime. That regime, they cannot represent the Chinese people. They are representing a dictatorship, one-party regime. They against us. They do not want Chinese to have any freedom. We do not have freedom of speech. We don't have freedom of publication. We don't have our freedom of religion. And that's why that empire must take down, because they do not represent people and they against the people. And today we're here right in front of this evil CCP embassy. We want to tell them it's time to shut yourself down, and we are going to push the CCP regime down, just like one after another, Maduro and Khomeini, and the next one, we hope it's Xi Jinping. We want to down with the Xi Jinping CCP regime.
Every dictator will have his day.
Everywhere. Yes, all the dictators will be taken down by the people. Down with the CCP.
Yeah.
Down with CCP.
Okay.
We're here. We want to tell that regime and its employees, your regime is going to be taken down. So wake up. Do not do evil things against the people anymore.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This gentleman, he said he's from Jilin.
我来自中国的吉林我由于参加6·4事件被共产党迫害，我希望尽早有一天把毛的尸体挂在天安门前。
I joined the Tiananmen democracy movement. That's why I was against by the CCP regime. I hope one day Mao Zedong's dead body will hang on the Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, I think that's a good wish.
Yeah.
我同意，完全同意。
是中国的祸根。
The Chinese Communist Party regime is the root of evil.
Yeah, they are evil.
And so that's why wherever the Chinese Communist Party, where it is, wherever people have no freedom and no peace.
Yeah.
And that is representing the evil empire. Therefore, we must join together, take down the CCP. And this lady is from Hong Kong. Is a vice president of the Hong Kong Parliament, and she is one of my heroes. And their president, Mr. Jiang, is almost assassinated by the CCP in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And you can see the CCP regime's infiltration and its transnational repression is too deep. The whole world must wake up. The CCP is not your friend. China is not your friend. They are infiltrating your government. They are selling your freedom. And therefore, we must stand up, take down CCP, down with the Chinese Communist Party.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. All righty. A very passionate lady. Said some very, very good things. And yeah, I wish more people would listen and more people in the UK would attend these protests. Unfortunately, I'm pretty much the only British guy there, I think. Yeah, it's quite shocking, really, to think about that. But I think, just there are too many crazy things going on, and just a lot of people unfortunately don't pay attention to the China issue, which is why they're slowly creeping in. And there's just been this recent spy case within the Labour government. Some more Labour MPs and their family members accused of spying for China. We're going to keep seeing cases like this, because China is just slowly creeping in to every facet of our society and our government, and they are, just creeping into all of the institutions. They've already pretty much taken over the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and yeah, they've got spies in British Parliament. Even what was it? Even with the royal family, with Prince Andrew, which is insane, insane. But yeah, as you can see from that footage that I just showed, there are a lot of people from China, Chinese dissidents, Hong Kongers that do not support the CCP. So for the CCP to think that everybody from China supports them is just ludicrous, absolutely insane. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think that do you think it's worth me even going to these protests, Do you think it's just one massive echo chamber there, and, like, there's just yeah, there's no real, the only it feels like the only person that supports the CCP is Krusty, and he didn't show up, unfortunately. I was hoping he would show up. I had my megaphone ready for him on that day, but yeah, Krusty didn't rock up. So do you think it's a waste of time? You think these protests are a waste of time because nobody's joining them? Because I absolutely do not think that they're a waste of time. I think that they're very valuable, actually. And the more that we do, I feel like if we just keep going, maybe one day people will join. But I don't actually care. I think the important thing is to show our opposition to the CCP, to openly go outside the Chinese embassy and protest against them. Because if other people in the UK aren't seeing it, that's fine. At least the CCP are seeing it. You bet that their officials in that building were all thinking, "Oh, fuck, there's a protest. Oh, man." But, we're trying to give this image that everybody supports us and that we're such a great government. But then there's people protesting. What if other people see it? I feel like I need to try and amplify it even more if I can. And it's interesting because the very moment that we arrived there to protest, and I should have documented this in the video, but the very moment we arrived, one of the cameras on the embassy actually turned around to face us. So they were filming it, which I'm really gutted that I didn't bring Mike's little device, the Signet, the little Morse code light. I don't know the proper word for it. I guess gadget. I'm so gutted that I didn't bring that because I could have given them a message on that, and they definitely would have been able to have figured it out, I'm sure. But yeah, I think it is worth it. I think it's definitely worth it to do this and to film it and to make videos about it and to try and get it more in the mainstream. Like I'm lucky I've got a channel with 93,000 subscribers. So I feel like it is kind of my duty to at least try and amplify this, make it more in the public sphere, try and get more people to get interested in it. Although you could possibly say I've failed in that mission because it's literally only me that goes there, the only British guy, but I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's definitely something worth fighting for and worth fighting against, and I am never gonna stop doing it.